anyways.
Yeah, so... Music. You guys just have a nice running stream of crimson off to the room behind you. Well, I guess one that some of you are in. Pale white room. And Saya is just there. Crouched down on the ground. Not crouched. Plopped. Kneeled down upon the ground. You have dutifully informed her that her child is fine.
Fine is relative.
Still
alive.
Not eaten
alive.
We don't know. She might have been.
As far as you are aware, still alive.
There we go.
We haven't seen her for a couple hours. Who knows?
Yeah, it's some good corporate terminology. As far as I'm aware.
To whom it may concern of living.
A real quick aside before we get started.
Yes.
I looked up the sorcerer chapter and to double check the spell slot thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say.
Yeah, it's long rest. I'm
just assume long rest
because that's how the coffee lock works.
Makes sense. I mean, it says that you regain expended spell slots and your sorcery points restored on a long rest. But that's all it says. It doesn't say what happens to the spell slots that you created.
I'm pretty sure
just safely assume that they are just fully converted and that they are not lost. If that's the case.
Oops, shit.
But it would make sense if they sort of reset on the long rest, because otherwise it would be kind of broken. Just keep making spell slots.
I mean, like, your spell slots do reset as well, but the assumption is that you probably run out of sorcery points before spell slots if you're playing a sorcerer.
Yeah, because you can't recharge sorceries except for this one specific.
Except for this one very specific instance, yeah. So, yeah. That's essentially all these crystals do mechanically, is just give you back sorcery points. And then, obviously, you don't have much option to use the sorcery points in between combat other than create more spell slots. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, thanks.
No problem. So, you have distraught Saya Sialova, as you guys know her full name was. What do? She's a bit... Her state of health is not in any way healthy, but she's nowhere near fading.
Have we tried to aid her with any sort of healing or anything like that?
Yeah, I think we gave her a potion. Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
We gave her some human blood.
Yeah, Kara's volunteered some blood.
She's like, do you want blood? She's like, yes, and immediately...
Yes, you guys offered her the water that you found in the other room, way on the bottom right, and she sort of refused to drink it. But, you know, fresh from the tap, Kara's blood, she was more willing.
You say fresh from the tap.
Fresh from the tap.
I mean, it don't get much fresher unless you're eating something.
Don't get much fresher other than ripping out the heart.
Question for the party. Are we taking a short rest to talk to this lady about her problems?
I mean, I'm probably going to be doing some medicine checks and healing, but also I don't need a short rest right now, I don't think, so...
Same. I'm down like literally 2 points.
It is up to the group.
If you need it.
If I'll give you this retroactive option. If you guys spend so much time talking to Saya that it warrants the time that is necessary for a short rest, then I could say you get a short rest. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Cool. Talking is not a strenuous activity for a short rest.
Who doesn't have temp HP?
Yo.
I don't believe I do.
I don't.
I got stabbed by a fisherman. I don't have.
I have 3 dice left, and 3 people don't. So
boom, boom, boom.
Chadimir, Dima, Marshall.
Ah, yeah, Seema is the favorite.
I mean, it only feels fitting.
Yeah, it feels very fitting.
Yeah. Just like you use cheating tactics, you get barely anything.
If Seema is going to attempt to do any sort of medicine or healing for, what was her name? Saya?
Yes.
Saya.
Yeah. Then Aldrich will offer to attempt to drain the crystals infecting her of their magic as a means to aid in that endeavor.
Yeah,
That's
the
also
first
the
thing
only
I'm
thing
gonna-
keeping her alive, potentially.
Yeah, because the first thing I'm gonna do is like look at the crystals and see how they're interacting with her body, and just trying to see if I can gauge just by like poking at them and looking at them whether they are 100% at this point integral to her being alive.
Okay. Make me a medicine check.
I shall.
With advantage, because I'm sure someone in this group will be helping you. Aldrich, if no one else.
Click, click, click.
Sorry, I can't click right now because
It's-
my trackpad is dumb. I got it.
14. Okay. You don't know necessarily the extent by which this is keeping her alive. You're not sure if it's necessarily like... how to put this? You've noted from the creatures you've seen until this point that they sort of pulse. They're sort of, critical points. They're pulse with energy, like a heartbeat. Hers is just constantly on. Like, obviously you can't hack open Saya to see the extent of how far this crystal grove goes actually into her body.
Can't we, though?
I mean,
Okay.
what's really stopping us?
You can't safely without killing her there. But,
I mean, she's
you
basically
don't
already
know the
dead.
full extent of it, but you know that there's something with it that is keeping her alive. You don't know if it's some sort of physical manifestation, like the creatures you see. You're not sure if it's some sort of magical thing, which is what Aldrich might be helping, advocate and, bring up as a topic. You don't know. This is an immensely unknown subject.
Okay.
But you do know that there's something about it that has keeping her alive or has kept her alive.
Have I ever
Yes.
used healing spells on Mishka?
I don't believe so.
I don't think she's ever really been damaged.
Yeah, she's never been. She's been like physically weak, but like you can't cure all healing word
Hunger.
with like a lack of hunger.
To be
know?
fair, if we did heal her, she'd probably be dead from any damage.
True.
Yeah. She's a small child. It's like 2 HP, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to gauge right now of like, gosh, 2 HP. I'm just trying to gauge right now how much is just Saya. What's the unique things I need to take in consideration with Saya being an already kind of out of the normal being?
I mean, you haven't exactly had a chance to examine anyone else of Mishka's species, I guess.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as you've seen so far, they technically do operate 100% as a normal person. Need to eat, sleep, drink, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, like, some sort of... There's not, like, some special gland in the back of Misha's throat or something that allows her to just digest human flesh, She just eats it, as if we would eat anything else. So, you don't know.
Alright. Well, I am going to...
Or, let me
ahead.
rescind that. It's not that you don't have anything to confirm any knowledge you have. Any information you
Yeah.
have on your... As Terran Point Sema it's on you.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage critical thinking.
I don't think it would hurt her for me to do cure wounds on her at all, so I'm going to experiment and see what happens when I do that.
Okay.
Oh. I forgot that I have that rigged up dumb and it doesn't roll for me.
R.I.P.
I need to go
So-
through and clean up this sheet at some point. Ooh, wasted
What
that
do you-
real good roll.
It's a DA, not D20. It's a bit different. And it is plus your spellcasting modifier.
Which is 5.
So
Goodness
13.
gracious.
Man, you could heal all Tala's health in one fell swoop. Oh, the irony. Saya is not... She's not, like, fully... She's been damaged. We'll put it like that. She's been, like, wounded. Like, not necessarily like she has, like, a massive gaping hole in her chest or something. But she does have various scratches and bruises across her body. And as, you know, you put your hand on her shoulder, what she's sort of... Not catatonic, but she's, like, distant. She's collapsed emotionally and mentally, so to speak. So you put your hand on her shoulder, feeling Krem's smile, and then these sort of wounds she has on her body begin going away. Bruises clear up, small cuts get fused back together as if they're never there. The crystal, on the other hand, obviously that's still there. It doesn't seem to, like, violently react or anything.
I would like to ask her if the crystals are touched. Does she feel that?
If you touch her,
Like if you tap it with a little a piece of metal or something.
like, this is sort of a two-part question. She doesn't feel like she will respond that I do not feel your touch upon it, but I do feel the movements that you bring. So, like, if you wait, I don't have a tuning fork here, but if you, like, tap whatever, like, I don't know, the hose of your blood or whatever, she feels the vibration, but she doesn't feel like a sense of heat. Or
It's like if you touch your teeth, right?
Something like that, yeah. Like, you feel something there, but it's not in any way as sensitive as, like, skin and flesh.
Okay.
It itself doesn't seem to have nerves, effectively, but they're attached.
It has. I mean, again, like, if you feel your teeth, you can feel your teeth getting, like, touched up upon. But so there's something there, but nowhere near to the sensitivity as your arm or something.
Okay, I think I'm going to try the reverse first. So if I take, let's see. If I take one of the first level spell slots that O gave me and convert it into 2 sorcery points, I will then attempt to channel those sorcery points into her crystal growth.
Okay.
If I can do that.
I would definitely allow some reverse conversions to go on. It was your Arcana for interacting with the crystal. So roll me your Arcana.
While this was happening with Seema and Ulrich, I just look over at our good rogue, non-magical buddy, and magic stuff, am I right?
Back in the mirror. She just shrugs at you. I never get any of this stuff.
I nod approvingly.
That's a logic. You channel some of your energy. You feel yourself lose a bit of potential, but as it literally propel it out of your body as you're touching the crystal, it absorbs it just fine, and then almost like a shiver, almost like the plates that form the kindness plates that form these centers just sort of rattle a bit.
How are you feeling?
I feel a bit better, but I'm quite tired.
When I gave you this energy, I suppose, did it feel different?
I feel a bit more awake, but She just very slowly shakes her head. It will not last.
I look at Seema. I could probably drain whatever magic is sustaining this growth, but I'm not sure what would happen to Sai if I did. Might remove it,
Yeah.
but it might also kill her in the process.
Yeah, it seems that whatever is sustaining the crystal is also sustaining her. She's in this weird limbo where she's not undead because things like cure wounds work on her, but she's also not. It seems like potentially this crystal is the only thing that is keeping her alive, unless it's sapping the energy from her. And the reason why you giving it energy made her feel like she had more energy was because she, like, the crystal stopped having to sap as much energy from her.
Yes, that's what happened to the other ones too. The older they got, the weaker they became.
I'm trying to think of
Is it
how I can figure out which direction it goes.
like a
Seema,
crystal leech?
are you able to bring people back if they're on the brink?
If you mean, can I spare the dying, I can do that.
Very specific.
That's it. I'm like, okay, yeah, thank you, metagaming whisper over there.
Pigeon.
The trees.
If I took a real good sleep, I could do that.
Boys don't have it in me today.
I would need a rest to do that. A long one, if you will.
All right.
Prayers today, I just didn't include
That
it.
being the case, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't.
He was making a silly
Yeah,
joke.
no,
Continue.
Well, if that's the case, we could escort her out, wait, attempt to get rid of this, and then worst come, if it does come to that, then try to bring her back.
But would she just come back like she is and die again?
I don't know.
I feel like the person I would most trust to look at this and actually know what is going on would be Con.
Maybe Ariana. Kind of from a biological standpoint. Ariana from a weird magic thing standpoint.
Yeah, I'm pretty. At this point, I feel like I'm at the point of knowing the most that I'm ever going to understand from a weird magic standpoint on this. Now I'm just wondering how this is physically affecting her.
Fair. I'm worried. It worries me to spend more time here, though. Perhaps we should get her to safety before we do anything else.
At the very least, we could take her to the smuggler spot that we found.
I think that would be wiser than taking her out, yeah? You don't know if these things can live on the surface, away from their food source, he says in quotation.
Nodding.
What do you want to do, Saya?
I would like to leave. I've been here for so long. I do not know how much time has passed.
If we do bring you... If we do bring you to the surface, there's a chance that you might not survive, but there's also a chance that you might be reunited for a brief moment with your daughter.
Her eyes get a spark of life as you mention this. a very, very tenuous candle in an otherwise dying fire of a life. I would very much like that.
She's the reason we came here, you know? She asked us to find you.
She did. She begins tearing up. She was always so brave.
I look at Seema and Shadimir and the others, and I say, I have some arcane energy to spare. I could at least buy her some time.
I do want to just wait before you continue on that line of topic. She's not literally incapable of walking. Like, she's capable of walking. She's drained emotionally and mentally, but physically,
Yes.
she's not dead. Just so you know.
No, my thinking was that if we do remove her from, like Marshall, he pointed it out, if removing her from the environment causes some sort of depletion in whatever's keeping her alive, I could potentially feed her enough for her to at least say goodbye. If it comes to that.
It's a good idea, but let's take her
And it's
towards
also
the
what you
exit and
want.
see what happens. Just observe and pay attention.
I think this sounds like a good plan.
What's wrong with you guys today? Having an actual plan?
Oh,
Disgusting.
I do have a few things. Unless Marshall was going to say something.
I mean, yep. Not important. Overly important. So say, did you also see the man standing at the wits when you were being hanged to death?
The figure.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see him when I was taken. I've seen him. He walks around in these caverns.
And is he the one who punches people through the walls?
I have not seen him fight anyone. As far as my time here. He is a warden of this place, it seems. The creatures ignore him.
What of the fighting that we've been...
I'm sorry, I do not know of such fighting.
Do the trees seem to interact with this person?
They do not hang him.
So, like, just as a double check to his... Like, but you heard the fighting too, correct?
I'm sorry?
Just as, like, a double check to his sanity? Heard the fighting?
You're literally cutting out the most pivotal parts for me.
Did everyone else hear the fight?
Did everyone else hear the fighting? I think you're the only one that, like, keep an ear out, so probably not.
Her. Thinking emoji.
I got the gift right there.
Aha. I was prepared.
Quite.
I think Jedmer is going to describe some of the creatures that we've seen so far and ask her if she's seen anything other than those. And
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you go about describing them?
Mostly like the growth patterns on them. Like some of them seem to have like more like clubbed hands and feet. Some of them have larger crystals on their back, and some of them seem to be almost completely crystalline in themselves.
Arm crystal, back crystal, fish.
Fish people. Have you seen anything other than people?
I have not seen any fish here. But
Yeah.
I've seen others.
Mm-hmm.
They walk on 4 legs.
Do they seem like people hunched over or like creatures?
Creatures. Beasts. One is large, what I assume to have been a horse, and the others. And she looks like over her shoulder back down the way that leads to the corpse room. Like dogs.
Do they seem to... Ooh, hold on, let me do something. Do they seem to follow commands or just wander about doing their own thing?
I have not seen anything give them commands. They patrol.
Do they interact with you at all, or have you just been avoiding everything?
I've been avoiding everything.
Probably a wise option. I see if I can help her stand up while this is going on.
Yeah, so you offer an arm up and she takes it. You feel a bit of a quiver in her just muscles in general, but she's able to stand herself up.
On those creatures, do they have larger sums of crystal at any location, like where they would have been killed, or potentially like
roll Saya's perception at disadvantage? That's a shame.
Yeah. Nah.
There's crystal all across their bodies. I do not know.
Okay. Any malformities in their beings, or do they just look like horses with crystal or dogs with crystal on them? Do they have like extra appendages anyway? Similar to, then she kind of gestures at her extra limbs.
No, I've not seen. I've not seen any extra limbs.
Might I suggest we get out of here before we encounter extra limbs?
Yes, let's do that. What the crap is a knuckle? What the?
Knuckle V. That's a sandwich in Subway. You can get a Knuckle V, and then it's a secret menu item. I'm not sure if you realize. It's pretty good.
Yes, I would like Italian bread and a whole horse.
And
I would like a Knuckle V on Italian bread thing.
demon from Scottish folklore.
Ah.
Or is it Irish? I can't remember.
It's probably Irish.
The Irish have got some weird shit. Well, they both do, but Irish.
Everything is
In my
evil
opinion.
fairies
I
in
don't got
Irish.
weird shit.
Everything's evil in Irish folklore.
It's either evil demon or evil.
How fitting.
They actually had like nice werewolves. Like they would bring people like fish and shit like that.
What you got after?
Like the dogs they are.
Yeah, we're a bit off the topic.
Yeah, so what do you guys do? As Zepati.
Zipate.
Apparently having taken a short rest. I'm suddenly talking like I'm from the Highlands.
Well, that's good, considering the next thing that's about to happen.
But yeah, what do you guys do though?
Are we just gonna escort her to the hidey hole?
My vote is to take her to the surface.
Straight up there.
If we can reunite, if we can reunite them now, that's essentially what we set out to do.
I mean, you have multiple ways to get to the surface. Technically, the closest way to town is the well hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the most traveled, most known source.
That's my vote.
We also have
The
to
wall?
get her to climb up a rope, but she could probably do that with assistance.
We could just lift her out.
That's it.
Awesome.
Put her on Marshall's back. Or just I don't know.
If this man,
Yes, Marshall.
if this man is a warden, I don't think he would like it if we take his prison.
Chains are meant to be broken, and we are supposed to break the people who forged them.
And you should stay on your guard if you seek to take someone else's property.
You speak from experience there? I didn't think you the sort. Your remarks at you.
He takes lives all the time.
Fair enough.
I am but a simple teacher.
Very simple, but very good at what he does.
Very good point.
Anyways.
If we want to get her out of here, we're wasting time.
Mm-hmm. So we should.
Well, I want to vote out of game. Which way are you taking her? Smuggler way or well way?
It seems like Marshall and Aldrich wants the well, and it probably is the safest. Just don't fall in the water.
Up to you.
Yeah. Oh god.
I think that's the best.
Which
Personally.
way did Marshall get out earlier?
He left through the well.
Okay. Then I'm into that.
Seems like a vote is set. Democracy at its finest, I suppose. So,
I'll be support. I'll help escort Saya. So I'm guessing I'll walk in the middle.
Mira and I will take up the rear.
Then I'll lead the way.
And I'll keep an eye out for big baddies. Or
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid of something coming from behind now.
And that's why you're watching
I'll be
behind
right
us.
next to you.
It's like sort of like an unconscious gesture. She just begins thumbing over the tip, not the notch points on her arrows. It gets ready to draw. It's like a gunslinger.
Ready to draw.
Like a gunslinger, like tapping like the handle of their revolver.
Like everything that Cedric
Groan
does.
loud.
Cedric has an arrow always in his hand. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. He's more than prepared.
He is the arrow.
He shoots himself at the target. Anyway, so you guys begin escorting Saya back down.
As we
Down.
leave, I put an arm out to stop Mira. Let everyone get a few feet ahead of us.
I would ask, does anyone notice this? But I would also perpetuate before that the point: does anyone care? Is anyone looking out for this?
I don't
No.
give a fuck.
I mean, Jeremy's kind of keeping an eye and ear out for anything, but if she sees Marshall is like trying to talk to Mira, she'd probably give him privacy.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm preoccupied right now. So, yeah.
Fair enough. She just like looks like just immediately her gaze shoots down at your arm, blocking her path, and then she looks up at you. Got your face. Something up?
I don't know what you were on about. Now is not the time to be hiding.
Who says I'm hiding something?
I just glare at her,
Her eyes are like squinted at you as you.
already knowing that she's lying to me.
Roll me This is your choice between intimidation or persuasion, and if it is intimidation, it would be your strength modifier.
Oh, well, yeah, then definitely.
Well, I tell you this because similar to how I give you guys choices onto like gathering information, your modifiers might be the same, but the avenues by which I deliver it or affect it will be different depending on which one you pick. Okay.
So you scare the shit out of her. Or not.
Well, now I counter roll with some Insighto, which is also a +4, so you're basically even on stats. Okay. She just like looks away from you, just sighs and looks forward at the departing group. Let's walk and talk.
Maybe quietly. But something to think about. Our new special quiver and bracers have some effect. But why would an archer not leave a bow if they were leaving the quiver as well?
She like looks at the braces on her arms. I don't think whoever left these here was an archer. I don't even think that they knew what they were getting their hands on properly.
But you do.
I do.
Like it or not, like your position, being a former Seeker now, we are a team.
She just sort of her gait, her steps slow as you say that. Team, huh?
A team enough that I trusted you to shoot an arrow.
I'm a pretty good shot.
And I'm a pretty good judge of character. So do not let your circumstances.
Her gait, like over the course of these past, like, I don't know, a few sentences, slows and slows further. And eventually it actually stops, and you're able to get like a couple steps ahead of her before noticing that she's fully stopped. Marshall? Do you think if someone gets help in something they need to do, that they were never worthy enough to do in the first place?
No, I do not. I think they are getting the best experience they can. Accomplish the task at the high ability.
Okay.
I would not be who I am without my teachers that gave.
But what if they gave you something like a test? A real show of your ability, and you were found wanting?
You are a seeker, yes? Where is seeker? And is not teamwork the most important part of your job?
I wouldn't say so, but...
You wouldn't say so because you are not good at teamwork.
Her eyes are just downcast, looking down, like she's holding her... her left hand's holding her wrist, where the bracers are, and she's just sort of staring down at it. Guess I was never cut out to be a seeker.
Not with your mindset current. But maybe changing your mindset is your truth.
That's gonna be hard. See her hand clench as she said that.
Just cracks all of his knuckles. But not impossible.
Fair enough.
Calm down. Let's reunite a mother with her child.
Right. And she jogs back to catch up to where you are.
As we're heading up, I'm just quietly whispering a summarized version of more or less what happened since Mishka wandered into our camp, just retelling the events without the gruesome details.
I mean, you guys haven't really had any gruesome...
Besides almost getting murdered by a flock one time, but besides that, we're fine.
That doesn't involve Mishka. She doesn't even know that. If anything, technically Seema would probably have been the best mind around Mishka, because she's the one that stayed back in town. And relatively oversaw Mira. Mira? Mishka, fuck him. Coffee, you gotta help me out here, man. Yeah. So, with your guys' combined efforts, you guys give relative accounts of Misha's hips and haps ever since you guys... Well, I guess she stumbled onto you guys, rather. She doesn't offer much past the occasional question here and there, but other than that, she's just listening. She gets some visible and apparent delight and joy at hearing certain events. Like, Seema, you probably end up informing her about Mishka overseeing Pavel and Tala's immensely arduous physical training, which I'm sure Mishka giggled in delight at, the suffering of another being, because children are evil.
They are.
They are.
Can attest to that.
Yeah. She also is happy when you guys brought Mishka to her cousin, Abramov.
Ah, yes.
You notice a trend that just indicates a furthered sense of Mishka's safety is her delight. More than just safety, because I think you guys are a pretty capable bunch of keeping someone safe. Something that how to put this? Something that humanizes Mishka. That brings her out of that dark state. Back to what she actually is. A little girl.
Oh. Does she have any reaction hearing that, like, oh yeah, she's hanging out with her father, or?
At the end of the story, which you guys probably end up delivering this account over the course of traveling back, so you guys probably end up finishing up at the intersection point right here. Oh, that's not the right cursor. So past the first crystal where you first went left to go fight the crystal guy stuck in the wall, you guys remarked that obviously she's back here in Gallivre and she's with Elder Turov. And she just closed her eyes and nods at that. This is good. Eventually, you guys are able to get back out onto the tree branches. Every 2 minutes. Well, I hope Marshall's not gonna do anything that time. You guys eventually come back to the tree, literal woodwork network that spans over this subterranean lake, the one where the fish people resided in.